What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Patty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel, just hit the subscribe button real quick and give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. You know what I mean? So, on this little episode right now, I'm gonna be talking about my experience doing time with the Crips, Bloods, and Bay Area, California. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm gonna share my little experience doing time with them from my point of view, from my perspectives. So let's go all the way back from Silmar Juvenile Hall, 2003, when I got busted. Yeah, when I was in the streets out there, I didn't really ran into that much Crips and Bloods, and Bay Area. There wasn't no Bay Area in Southern California, because Bay Area means San Francisco, or all the places and cities that's around that area, Northern California. So in down south, Southern California, there was only Crips and Bloods. So going back 2003 in Silmar, yeah, man, they were also deep. They were just as deep as the Mexicans, the Soreños in Southern California. And there was a lot of them, man, different kinds. You got the Crip, Blood, they got the Cream, they got Cream too. And it was a trip because I was just trying, like, learning them and shit, and the way they talk is different. Every sentence they would say, "Hey, cut, hey, cut." If you're a Crip, then you're a Blood, hey, Blood, hey, blur. If you're a criminals, then hey, crim. Different shit. You know what I'm talking about? And one thing that I remember right now that stood out is old boy from Insane Crip, cause from Long Beach. Shout out to all the Long Beach homies, man. And yeah, he was just like me, cause where the building that I was at in Silver Juvenile Hall, it was the unfit building. Like, everybody was charged as an adult. Just like that one show that one of the in the comment section that told me to go to, they call us Monster or something like that. Just right there, that's Silver Juvenile Hall. It's probably UniZ too. It looks like it. But yeah. So, old boy from Long Beach, I'm gonna use him as an example because he was also charged as an adult, but with, like me, charged as an adult like me, and I also saw him later on down the line in the future and shit. So back in 2003, he came in there, and what do you call this? He looked like a little kid, probably more when he first got there in UniZ, man. Probably more like me also, man. Like, but him, he looked like innocent little. He was skinny, like just like me too. And at first he was just looking around, so he was just also learning and trying to observe. I kind of see where it's coming from because that's how I felt when I first got there. So, yeah, he was getting banged out. Nigga, this, insane that, and he was a Crip. He was a Crip because in Long Beach is mostly all Crips. And then, what do you call this? Yeah, we even got into it in the halls. We even got down and shit. Because everybody almost gets down with everybody over there. Whoever calls you out, it's just for the fuck of it. It's like it's just like a thing that calls you out, and you gotta call somebody back. You just get down with everybody, just how it is in Silmar, or whatever. So, but yeah, we did our thing. We got down before. I don't want to say, people get butthurt or whatever, but we're the same. We're just same skinny guy, and then I saw his transition from just like me, from when he was a little kid like me, and then later on in the future. Because I saw him later on in Calipat, the same guy that I was telling you about from Insane. Fuck, dog, my bad, I forgot your name, dog. But he was doing his Thug Tizzle in the future, man, later on in Calipat B Yard around 2012. He was always raising his hand. I always see him go to the hole, always putting in work for the Long Beach car, and I'm gonna talk about that later on. So that's it's different because not everybody's the same, but Crips, Bloods, the Blacks are a huge freaking car, almost same as the Sureños. They're hella deep also, everywhere, and then even in Northern California, you got the Del Paso Heights. Shout out to Nate Dogg right there from DPH. And the blacks are deep, period, dog, and that's like one of the rivals of the Sureños because they're just almost the same as numbers, you know. Excuse me. So yeah, but shout out to the Long Beach Asian Crips also. There's a lot of them, and even I already learned about them in Silmar because they was already lacing me up. Shout out to $4 from Sui's, you know. I was with him in Silmar and YA and the pin. I don't know which yard where he went through, but we were all kids. We all got charged as an adult. This was back in 2003. So that was my experience in Silmar, and then I go to the motherfucking YA. It's like the prison for little kids, and it's still gang banging and shit. And that's my first time meeting the Bay Area. Is in Stockton, Northern California, which is like 6 hours away from LA. So this is where I found out that you got your criminals, you got your Crips, your Bloods, and you got your Bay Area. And there's like a whole different culture, a whole different world, but it's still in California, you know. I could sit here talk about all the fades and everything and shit, but come on, it's kind of like overrated. But one thing, I don't know if somebody ever talked about this before, because I like learning. I want to know the difference, stuff like that. And Calaveras, Unit Calaveras in OH Cloves, and Christmas party. They had this little party, man, where the staff they what do you call this? They made this little party where there was like a little dance party, like competition. If you win, you get pizza or something. You get some kind of food or incentive. And everybody was doing their thing. Everybody was dancing. It was a trip. It was entertaining for me because everybody was fucking dancing, man. At first, the Crips and the Bloods from down south, they would fucking they would Crip walk and shit, Blood walk. This was back like in 2005, 2006. Crump and shit. You know what I'm talking? And then fucking and then here goes the Bay Area, man. The Bay Area, they go dumb. They hyphy and shit, and they do their I like their dance too. It's hella appealing and shit. It's cool, man. But different dance, different culture from Southern California to Northern California and shit. So everybody was like competing, dancing on that little Christmas party that I'm talking about, and then fucking I was over there too. I was doing a little Crip walk and shit, but I ain't no Crip though. I'm Pinoy gang shit from Jeff Rocks, but Crip walking, it was a cool thing to do. It was the culture, man. Everybody was dancing, and next thing, and then rapping too. Whoever could rap, because almost like all the blacks, they can rap, man. I don't know, they're just their thing. They like rapping, they like writing, they're good at that shit. And then what do you call this? So yeah, I'm Crip walking too and shit. And then here comes the homie Short Dog from Trey 57, the Asian Crip, Fresno. He just like at the end of the dancing thing, he just goes in the middle and starts fucking doing the windmill and shit, start breakdancing. So everybody was looking at him like, damn, because I don't know, I can't do it, what I'm talking about? I can't do the windmill. But yeah, he was doing his thing, and it's not all fucking always fucking fighting every day. There's times like that also in Christmas parties, sometimes shit like that, but it's still gang banging though, don't get it twisted. But you're trying to have fun, you're trying to stay positive in an environment of fucking that took your freedom. It's made you a fucking modern slave and shit. But that was back in CYA days, man. I got down with all of them, almost all the race, everybody, because that's how CYA works. It's like to each his own. It's all about your gang. It's all about what you're representing, what hood you're from, what city you're from, or whatever. You gotta be claiming something, So, fast forward later on down the line in the pin. Oh, sorry. Before I forgot, in YA, in fucking Stanley Tookie Williams, one of the co-founder of Crips, the organization Crips, that started Crips. Crips is an organization worldwide also, all over the fucking world now and shit. And that's one of the guys that started it. He was executed, man. He was executed at, I believe it was 2006. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when he got executed, dog, got the fucking in the dorm in CYA in the middle of the night. Fucking, I was dead asleep, man. I don't know, maybe I was tired or something, man. But I was dead asleep, and then next thing you know, like in the middle of the night, you just hear the alarm goes off. Ring, ring, ring. I forgot what was the sounds. But all the blacks, all of them, Crips, Bloods, in Bay Area, all the blacks on that building, on that unit, they decided they want to kick it off and shit, man. For, I guess, because they executed Tookie Williams. That's the one of the OG, the big homie of the Crips, man, of the blacks, you know. So I just heard the alarm and I thought, fucking, I don't know who's attacking who. Nobody fucking knows. So uh, I was dead asleep and the alarm woke me up and I see a lot of commotion going on. So I'm fucking like trying to wake myself up as fast as I can. I'm like fucking slapping myself, wake up, just trying to open up my eyes and shit. And then once I became a little bit of conscious and looked around, all I see was the blacks taking off on all the essays, all the Mexicans, including Bulldogs, because at that time Bulldogs were and the Sureños, they were clicked up. And fucking one of the blacks was pulling this Bulldog out of his bed, man. And I see old boy just hanging on to the bed, shit, man. And the blacks are pulling him, and then they eventually pulled him, and they packed him out and shit, and they kicked it off, all because it was an organized attack, all because of they executed Tookie Williams, the co-founder of the Crips, and these are little kids, man. These are 16, 15 to 18 years old during that time in CYA, where I was at, you know, Stockton, Norwich Close, and you know, I've had a lot of experience with the blacks, with the CYA, with the Crips, Blood in Bay Area. I studied them. I trying to see what's the difference with who, this and that. You know, that's my shit. I like to try to learn everything as much as I can. You know. So fast forward later on in the pin, it's a whole different ball game, man. You know, in the pin, they're still also, they're deep. Also, the blacks are deep, man. But they have their own. They have a lot of division also, because sometimes it depends. If you're in prison in Southern California, then that's different to Northern California. They got different culture, different people and shit. But pretty much, they would have their own car, like I said earlier, the Crips, the Bloods, and the Bay Area. But within the Crips are so deep. They would be divided also from Compton car, Watts, Long Beach car, areas and shit, you know, neighborhood, the Hoovers. They're also divided to a lot of things, and even the Bloods would have a lot of division also. They have a lot of division within the car, because that's how deep they are, you know, from what I noticed, from my point of view, from my perspective. And I fuck with them. I do like I said, I do business with all the race, as long as I feel like your word is cool, you're a good business person. There's a huge chance that I'm not gonna get myself caught up to where, you know what I'm talking about. You know, of course, money is money. You gotta do business with whoever can do business. You know what I'm talking about, and that's what I was doing. And a lot of them, they're all about their money also. You know, so. Because they got the OGs, the blacks that's been there and shit, like some fools that I know, mafioso. I forgot. I'm bad with names. J-Lo, shout out to J-Lo and shit, man. Yeah, I saw him in Pelican Bay. He was one of the old. You know, he's up there. He's been down for a while also. They got life and shit, man. So, shout out to all of them. What do you call this? So yeah. You know, and then the Bay Area, the youngsters, I always get along with them. I work out with them. You know, I fuck with everybody, dog. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how I express my freedom and shit. Because others, they can't do that. But the Asian Islander car, as long as you're not disrespecting anybody, you're not trying to jeopardize the whole car, you can fuck with everybody you want to, dog. But if we fuck up, we started fucking us. We started getting ourselves into debt and buying some dope or gambling or anything like that, and we don't pay, we get stabbed for that too. You know, it's the same shit. But it's just that we don't have mandatory where you can't talk to that race, you cannot talk to that race. Oh no, no, no. That's not how we do it. So yeah, Crips and Blood. So later on, down in the future, like I said earlier, old boy from Long Beach, Insane. I seen how he evolved from a little kid just like me later on, 2012 in Calipat, man. But he was so caught up in putting in work for Long Beach that his mindset was, it was different, man. And I seen him always putting in work for Long Beach, for Insane and shit. So that's cool, man. But eventually, dog, that shit's gonna get played out because when you go over there, you can't take off on a different race. You can call people out from your own race, but long story short, gang banging don't mean nothing right there, dog. In the pin, because in the pin, the people that got life over there, it's all about your race now. It's all about your peoples now. Your hood is cool, but see, there's one thing that people gotta understand: the streets is different from the pin. You can sit there and say they're the same, but they're not, dog. And one of the bigger picture also that I want people to understand is that always trying to look at the bigger picture, because there's a lot of rivals going on. Sur, Norte, Mexicans and blacks. Us too. Sometimes we have to go to war. It's none of my control, but sometimes shit happens, and even the Asian Islanders, sometimes they have to go to war with everybody else also, including the police. But always remember that when the shots is fired in the yard and shit, shit is kicking off and shit. People, police ain't got no choice, or some of them, the trigger happy ones, they want to shoot at people, and everybody's laid down in the fucking ground, face down like this. All the races. Some people are stuck on that fucking, so consumed on hating that fucking motherfucker that's laying down, face down and shit, looking at each other, so focused on that hate, but they don't see the bigger picture, man. The bigger picture, while everybody else is laid down, all the fucking inmates with all different races, whites, black, Mexican, Hispanic, Asian Islanders, and others like Puerto Ricans, Cuban, Ethiopian, Egyptian, or all the other race from also in the other car, because there's so many races involved. And then Paisa, Border Brothers, Woods, and everybody else laid down, laid out, face down, in the maximum security in the level 4. When shit kicks off in the yard, and if you look around, all the inmates in California wearing blues. Everybody's laid out, man. If you look up, who you gonna see that's standing up with the fucking gun? With the gun. Who has the power to take somebody's life at any given moment, whenever they want? Don't you guys see the bigger picture, man? So focus on your hate, on your peoples, on a different race. Do your best, trying to see the biggest picture. How this shit works. Why is it like this? Instead of just focus on what you know in the streets, gang banging, because your big homies told you to shoot this motherfucker, and then you're gonna shoot him because just your big homie said that. Always look at the bigger picture. Why is it like this? But anyways, that's a different subject, man. Yeah, Crips, Bloods, Bay Area, and what do you call this? Let's see. I want to shout out to all the because a lot of the Asians and even Filipinos, man, they Crips, they Bloods too. I embrace them all the same. It don't matter who, or it don't matter where they from, because because in there we all gotta stick together. That's just how it is. And like I said, you have the option, and it don't matter if you're from a Crip gang or a Blood gang, but you're Asian or you're Samoan. You have that choice, man. What is your priority? What do you prioritize more? What's more important to you? Your hood, your barrio, or your gang? or your peoples, your blood, your race, what you was born with. So it's up to you, dog. I just wanna. I feel like I just have to say that. So, but like I said, it's different because even in California, you have your level 4s 180 design, you have your level 4 270 design. Those are the most maximum security ones. And then the rest of the lower yards are the level 3, 2, 1, fire camp, and all the other fucking better places, better than fucking level 4s. And if you're a real fucking factor, you real gunner out there, real serial killer out there like Tookie Williams and everybody else that's on death row, then that's where you're gonna end up, in death row. That's just how simple it is. So that's all I gotta say. Just always think about the bigger picture. You know what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's my little story, my little experience about the Crips, the Bloods in the Bay Area. There's actually just a lot more to say, but for now, there's just just a little bit of something, just from my point of view, my perspective, doing time with him. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching, man. Say what you mean and mean what you say, homie, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here.